Okay, good morning, Shalom Aleichem. We are up to Shmuel Aleph, Perek Chaf Vav, chapter 26. We are moving along in Sefer Shmuel Aleph. Today is a very challenging day in Shmuel, as this will be the last time that David and Shaul, father-in-law and son-in-law, chaser and chasee, ever meet and ever talk. Last moment in time, and things very much change as a result of this. In fact, in schools, actually, school that I taught, middle school, 1 year, I think 6th grade, is Shmuel Aleph up to Perek Chaf Vav. Shmuel Beis begins with Chav Zayin usually, Chav Zayin Chav Ches. It doesn't mean it's a completely different story. It's one continuing story. It's like a slight change in what's happening over here. We met the Zifim before, the Ziphites, Midbar Ziph, people that live in this huge area, a few chapters before in Perek Chaf Gimel. And previously, they informed Shaul that David was hiding out in there. And David doesn't learn his lesson, or at least maybe he thought that Shaul has been finished with, he promised that he was not going to attack him anymore. So the Zifim come to Shaul. Lemor, hello, David mistater bagiv asa chachila al pnei yeshimon. We've found David again. We found the fugitive again. Do what you want with this information. Vayakam Shaul vayered al midbar zif. Shaul, immediately goes. He doesn't talk to any people first. Just the way the Navi describes it. Vayakam, he jumps up at this opportunity. V'ito shloshes alafim ish bechore Yisrael levakech es David midbar zif. He goes with 3,000. There's two ways. There's bachure or bichure. Bachure would mean like the young lads, like the young guys in the army. Bichure means the chosen ones. That Shaul had a certain amount, the cadre of people in the army that were the chosen ones. They were like the elite units. So he brought the elite units with him to find David, right? We have elite units today. They're talking about them there's a Shaldag unit. There is we have a member of the community whose son-in-law is in the Shaldag unit. And we have the Yahalom unit. These are very specialized units that are meant to find people, terrorists, that are hidden in different areas or meant to go into enemy territory. This is not a new thing. So Shaul needs to find David HaMelech in the middle of an entire midbar, and he doesn't have night vision goggles, and he doesn't have drone footage, and he needs to try to find him in the old school way, right? So how is he going to do that? So Shaul now encamps exactly where the Zifim tell him to go. Al haderach David yoshev b'midbar vayar kiva Shaul acharab b'midbar. So Shaul encamps in this midbar, and David, from his vantage point, sees Shaul and his men coming. Vayishlach David miraglim. David sends spies. Vayeda kiva Shaul el nachon, and they tell him that Shaul is coming directly for him. He wasn't sure. He was told by Shaul that this wasn't going to happen again. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I feel bad. You could have killed me, and it didn't happen. Not going to happen again. That was a while ago at this point. And now David wants to find out why they're coming, and they are coming again for him. Vayakam David vayivo el hamakom asher chana sham Shaul. So David goes to the place where Shaul is being hidden. Shaul is. Vayar David es hamakom asher shachav sham Shaul v'avner bener sar tzva'o v'Shaul shocheh b'ma'agal v'ha'am chonim tzvivo saf. So David goes in the middle of the night to find Shaul. Shaul is sleeping in the middle of a circle. There are people circled around him, sleeping in a formation, this way, why would we do this? Protect the king, right? Because you have to walk through, and presumably you'll step on somebody or someone's going to hear you. You'll wake them up, and then by the time you get to the king, you're going to be, arrested or killed. So who is there now? These names are going to be very, very important for us moving forward. So Shaul's right-hand man, his general, was Avner ben Ner. Okay, Avner ben Ner is, we have two generals that are going to play a very important role in the next, I would say, 5 to 10 chapters in Shmuel Aleph and Shmuel Beis. That is Avner, that's Shaul, that's Team Shaul. And who is David's? Anyone remember? Yoav ben Tzeruya. Okay, who is Tzeruya? Tzeruya is not a name of a man, it's the name of a woman. David had a sister whose name was Tzeruya. So Yoav is his nephew. Okay, Yoav is David's nephew, and he is his general, and he defends David every single time. He really takes care of things for David. So Avner is in this circle, right next to the king, protecting his king. Vaya'an David. So David now turns to two of his trusted advisors. El Achimelech Hachiti. So one is Achimelech. The El Avishai ben Tzeruya. Okay. Avishai is Yoav's brother. Okay. We'll see there's going to be three B'nai Tzeruya in total, 3 nephews of David HaMelech that are going to play pivotal roles in David's army and David's cabinet.
Why is the mother's name mentioned?
Chashivas. We're gonna later on, the Mefarshim will discuss this as to why this is so. The simple reason is that she was more chashuv. And this is giving prominence to the family and to the woman who Tzeruya was. We don't know much about her. There are other reasons. Maybe her husband wasn't around. Maybe he wasn't alive. He didn't exist. Maybe he wasn't of the right lineage. Maybe something along those lines. But most simple answer is she was more chashuv than him. Therefore, her name is mentioned. So he turns to his 2 men, Achimelech and Avishai. And he says to them, Mi yered iti al Shaul al hamachana. You guys want to come with me? We're going to go for a walk at night. Vayomer Avishai, ani yered imach. I'll go with you. No problem. Avishai is going to Avishai is second in command to Yoav. Yoav is the general. He is, I don't know what you'd call him, lieutenant general, brigadier, I don't know the names of all these, but he is like second in command. We mentioned this Shabbos at the drasha about Yoav saying Chazak v'nid chazek b'aramenu. The person he was saying it directly to was to Avishai, and then subsequently to all of the other officers and chayalim that were really around. Because we don't mention him too much, but Avishai is a very important person in this story. Vayevo David v'Avishai el ha'am laila. So David and Avishai come at night. V'hine Shaul shachev yashen b'ma'agal. So David, he's sleeping. V'chanito me'ucha ba'aretz. I found this fascinating, that his spear is stuck in the ground. It's going to be foreshadowing because they're going to do something with the chanit. But we've seen Shira, I don't remember, Shira had a point about this she mentioned a few months ago, but we see that Shaul's spear plays like a very big role in this story, right? The spear is a thing that he's always practicing with and just missing David HaMelech. The spear is what Shaul eventually is going to fall on when he dies. It's always with him. It's always with him. And it's a little bit of a funny thing. Like, we have swords. That's usually what we speak about. People use swords in ancient times. and they use bow and arrows. And then, but Shaul's like trusted object is a spear. Just, I don't know. I don't know what that says to us about Shaul, but it must say something about, and David's is a slingshot, right? So it must say something about his personality, that this was his trusted weapon of choice.
Maybe it has to do with his size.
He was so tall.
Maybe that was the best type of weapon to use for someone so big.
Right? But Goliath used a very big sword. No, and we know because David eventually got hold of it. So they could make swords of that size. It's like you go to Target or Walmart, and you're like, I would like a weapon. Okay. So in New Jersey, they don't sell weapons in Target or Walmart. Okay, you got to go a little bit down south, and they'll sell weapons there. They do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
I'm not being facetious over here. Yeah.
What other weapons they sell?
Yeah. No, they have a whole section. Yeah, it's very, yeah. That's the same thing as saying in Walmart and Target, not in New Jersey, they sell alcohol. It's like, I don't know. It's like,
I wouldn't compare a spear to a bottle of
okay.
scotch.
No.
But maybe
So-
maybe with a spear.
So they look at Shaul and they say, you can't go to the sword section. You know why you can't go to the swords? You're too tall. It doesn't, I feel like it's more fundamental. I don't know. Yeah.
But it sounds like the spear would be more this type of weapon because
Quick.
it's quick. You don't have to have hand-to-hand contact with the other person. You can be further away. He's the type of person that doesn't want him.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because he keeps distance between people.
Distance.
The rest of the spear is much bigger.
Mhm. But it doesn't necessarily have the same power.
What?
They're long, right? By definition, they're long and thin, right? They're long and thin, but very sharp on both ends.
And he's big, so that would
Right.
to throw that very far.
Yeah, it could be. I think we should develop this further. I think there's something here about, this is telling us something about his personality. Vayomer Avishai, pasuk ches, El David. So Avishai says to David, Sagar Elokim Hayom es oivecha. Look at this, David HaMelech. Hashkacha pratis. Hashem has placed our enemy in our hands. Look at this. He is sleeping. We can kill him right now. Avishai is very aggressive. We will see this over and over again. He's an aggressive guy. And he says, let's kill him. Is Avishai wrong? No, he's not wrong. We have a halacha on the books. If somebody's coming to kill you, hashkem lahorgecha, go kill them. He's a rodef.
But it's not the first time David had the opportunity to kill him.
This is not the first time. No, absolutely not the first time.
What's changed?
Well, you see here that Avishai is really saying what David's men all feel. Finish the story. We don't want to be running around anymore. It's not fair that you're being so nice to him. Enough already.
I did Google it, by the way, and it says that a spear becomes the symbol of Shaul's trust in the flesh and his lack of trust in Hashem. This is especially clear when he attempts to use his spear to rid his kingdom of David, God's anointed one.
But why a spear versus a sword? See, that doesn't answer.
Okay, why? Okay.
Why spear?
Okay. I thought you were Googling how to buy a gun in Walmart. I don't.
Rabbi, with the
Yes.
spear, I guess, or even like a bayonet. I mean, you get from a distance, you don't get up right up close. You can kind of just stab him or whatever with a sword or something like that. You're basically gonna be fencing with him. You'll be up close.
I hear
battling
you.
him much more.
My question
I
is
think
going to
it's a
be, why not a sword, Sam? There's clearly something here. We're stressing this. We're stressing this over and
Because he's a
over.
big guy, because a big guy wants to keep the enemy away from him, especially when he may be smaller and faster and whatever.
Okay.
And the spear can do that with
Go.
when you're fencing with somebody, you're up close with a sword, you sort of have to be athletic and be jumping around with them and whatever. If you ever watch an old Errol Flynn movie when they're running up and down the spit with the sword with Basil Rathbone, it's very athletic effort as opposed to a spear when you're just going to come up and poke them with it and whatever. Problem with the spear though is that they wear armor. Even in those days, they wore armor.
With a
Right,
sword, more
maybe a
pers-
spear was more precise than a sword because it was lighter.
It's much more up close. It's much more athletic.
Right.
You don't need to be nearly as athletic
Yeah.
with the spear, I think. I mean, it's part of what it is.
Several advantages over a sword. A spear is a longer reach.
Wait, Honey's Googling. So,
It says.
if, Honey, when's your birthday?
When is my birthday? Well, you're going to buying me a spear.
So, number one is, yeah,
It
so
says a spear has several advantages over a sword. A spear is longer.
it's, okay, spear's
allowing the
longer.
attacker to attack from a safer distance.
You can attack from a safer distance.
It is particularly advantageous in open spaces or against multiple opponents.
It's better against multiple opponents.
Additionally, a spear can be used for thrusting and throwing and is.
So there's multiple
versatile in
uses. It could be
combat.
thrusting and throwing in combat. Okay,
Versatile.
amazing. Okay, so Avishai says to him, "Vata kenu na b'chanis uva'aretz pamachatz v'lo eshnelo." So now you look, hello, the weapon's there. You could take the weapon and one move, one motion, and kill him. V'lo eshnelo, and you don't need to hit him twice. Done. Yeah.
What line does the road have to cross that you can kill?
He's trying to
Somebody
kill
just
you.
says, I'm gonna kill you, but isn't doing something at the moment. Can you kill him?
In other words, he's a threat.
So
I mean, that's
The-
something that's sleeping, it's not a
good,
threat.
good. There's an opinion in the Gemara. Rabbi Yosef Mitchell. This Gemara Sanhedrin. That writes that if you are and someone's chasing you and you're an expert and you could shoot them in the foot and that would disarm them, that they would stop attacking you, then you should do that. But if you're not an art, you don't have to be an archer. You're not a sharpshooter. Then you have to disarm them no matter what. When they are sleeping, so I would say there's a difference between who we're talking about here. In Shaul's situation, this is continuous. It's never ending. So the argument could be made that David can still kill him even though he's sleeping. Like we don't need to play by it, nice. The argument could be made, just arrest him. Or by taking off his legs or doing something very severe like that is not going to change it because Shaul's then going to send other people to kill him in this situation.
He's not gonna get 5 feet. I mean, as soon as he stabs him, the people all around him, they're gonna wake up, they're gonna grab Doug in like 2 seconds. He's not gonna get away.
Right. You see also not to in any way, God forbid, to compare Shaul to terrorists, but the idea of a rodef to a terrorist, which is they are rodfim, is that we are paying the price for not killing terrorists and for letting them live and for arresting and putting them in jail. Again, we have we have to do it because we do it. It's a bigger picture that Israel has to play, this bigger game of international warfare and politics that they have to play. But as a result of that, look what's happening to us. By playing too nice. Vayomer David el Avishai. So now David says to Avishai, Al tashchisehu. Don't kill him. Ki shalach yadav b'mshiach Hashem v'nikam. Who can raise their hand to an anointed one of God and ever be fully innocent? You can't do this. It is not right. It is wrong. Vayomer David Chai Hashem ki im Hashem yigafenu o yomo yavo v'meis o v'melchama yirei v'nispa. I will not do this. I swear to God that I will not do this. If Hashem wants him dead, Hashem will have him die through natural means. Magefa, he'll get sick or he'll die in a war. But it's not going to be me that's going to do this. I can't do this. I can't bring myself to kill Shalom Melech. Chaliluni me'Hashem yishlach yadi. Like, One second. B'Mashiach Hashem. V'takachna es hachanis asher mirash osav. V'tzapachas hamayim v'nelcha lanu. What should we do now? Let's take two things. What are we going to take? We're going to take the spear from Shaul, and we're going to take the water. I guess the Tilas Yadayim water that they're going to have. We're going to take that with us and bring that. We're going to take it. Why? Some people claimed. See, what did David do last time? Shaul was using the facilities. He cut his coat off, and he showed it to everybody. Shaul's men said, "Oh my gosh, David could have killed me. He didn't. He must be innocent." His men said, "No, he didn't cut your coat off. He's lying. Your coat must have ripped on the rocks, and now he has it, and he's using that against you. Don't get your emotions to get the best. They're getting the best of you right now. Don't let." So by taking these two things now, hello, how else did you don't leave them somewhere. We know where you have them. Everyone was witness before you went to sleep. They were right next to you, and now they're not. So what is David thinking? I'm not sure. It could be David was thinking, Avisha, come with me, let's kill him. And then as he got closer, he had second thoughts. He had an about face, which David's a real person. No?
Rabbi.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, that to me, it almost sounds like David doesn't have Rachmanis on Shaul. He's more in fear of killing someone that Hashem has chosen and anointed as Melech.
Correct. He holds that position in very high regard.
You can also feel that by taking the spear, he's taking away Shaul's strength. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think this is a big sign. When someone's able to take the other person's weapon.
No, but it's like a kid losing the security blanket.
Yeah.
You know, he took away his prized possession.
Correct. Vayikach David es hachanis v'esatabachas hamayim meirasho say Shaul. Vayelchu lahem ve'ein ro'eh. They went in the middle of the night. They were able to skirt around everybody. Ve'ein ro'eh ve'ein yodea ve'ein mekitz. Nobody woke up. Nobody knew. Nobody was on guard. It was a miracle. Ki chulam yeshenim. Everyone was sleeping. Ki tardemas Hashem nafla aleihem. Hashem made it that nobody was awake at the time and nobody woke up as a result. Vaya'avor David ha'ever vayamod al rosh hahar mirachok rav hamakom beinehem. Then David went to a nearby mountain, climbed up the mountain. Vayikra David el ha'am, and then started yelling towards the people. The El Avner ben Ner. So first he yelled towards the nation, the Farshim say, and no one was waking up. And then he said, Avner! And then Avner woke up. Lay more. Hello, Ta'ana Avner. Avner, answer me. Answer me, Avner. Vayan Avner vayomer mi ata karasa alamelech. Who are you that's calling out towards the king? Right? Obviously, you don't want me, the general. You want the king. What do you want? Vayomer David el Avner halo ish ata umi chamocha b'Yisrael. You are a man, meaning you are responsible, and you are unique amongst the Jewish people. V'lama lo shamarta el adonecha hamelech. Why didn't you guard the king? Kiva achad ha'am lashchis es hamelech adonecha. Somebody came last night, or in the middle of the night. It's not clear when exactly this is. To kill the king. Where were you? Lo tova davar hazeh. Asher asisa chay Hashem ki b'nei mavazatem. You should die. You didn't protect the king the right way. You should be fired. Asher lo shemartem al adonechem al Mashiach Hashem v'ata re'eh. See, look what I have in my hands. Eichanes hamelach. Where is the spear of the king? Eitzapachas hamayim. Where's the king's water? Sher mirash osav, that was next to his head. It was right next to him. Avner. You know where it is? Vayaker Shaul es kol David. Shaul recognizes David's voice. Vayomer. Hakolcha zeh b'ni David? Is that Bubala? David HaMelech? Vayomer David. Koli Adoni Hamelach. Yes, in fact, it is my voice, my master, the king. Vayomer lama ze Adoni rodef acharei avdo. David's, why are you running after me? Ki me'asisa u'ma biyadi ra'ah. What did I do wrong? Abba, right? What did I do wrong? V'ata yishma na Adoni Hamelach es divrei avdo. Im Hashem hesischa ki arach mincha v'im bnei adam arim in lifnei Hashem ki gershuni hayom nistapech benachlas Hashem leimor leich avod Elohim achirim. So I can no longer be here in this country with you. Your people have chased me out of this country. I can't be here anymore. I am a hostage. I am not a hostage, sorry. I'm enemy of the state. I can't be here anymore. What did I do wrong to you? This is setting up what's happening next, is that David's going to leave the country. And David's going to go to the Plishtim again and stay with the Plishtim. We'll see what happens. It's fascinating. Please don't spill my blood. You want to, before he referred to himself as a dead dog, and now he refers to himself as a little bit fly or flea. But nothing. Go on with your life. You have much more important things to do, not to kill me. There's no reason for you to come attack me. So Shaul responds, Chatasi. When's the last time Shaul said I sinned? He hasn't. He's never said this word before. The Gemara writes that if only he said Chatasi by the episode with Amalek, right when Shmuel came to him and said I sinned, things would have been very, very different. It takes us a long time to say I'm sorry. It takes us longer to say I made a mistake. Shaul versus David. The biggest difference between them, the Gemara Yuma writes, is this word. When they both made big mistakes in their lives. And you can argue David were even bigger. When David is faced with that reality, David responds, Chatasi. I messed up. I sinned. I made a mistake. Shuv bini David, come return to me. Kilo eira lecha od, I'm not going to do anything wrong to you anymore. Tachas sheyakra nafshi be'enei lecha yom hazeh, hinei hiskalti ve'eshgeh harbei mod. I messed up. I'm the crazy one here. You're right. Come back home. Vayan David. We'll see. Does David respond to this? Hinei chanis hamelach. Here is your spear. Vayavor echa min arim ve'ikechaha. Bring me one of your people, and I'll give it to them. Hashem yashiv la'ish et tzidkaso, ves emunaso, asher nisancha Hashem hayom biyad, lo avisu lishoch yadi v'mshoch Hashem. You should know that I don't want anything from you. I don't want any gift. I don't want any present. I don't want any finder's fee. Just, all I want is like for you to leave me alone, and I'm not going to hurt you. Please know that. Vihine, and you could see here why we could say that there was something emotionally wrong with Shaul. Wait, like, do I hear your voice? Like it's like he is like awakening. He's like waking up from something that he was in previously. So now David is saying on himself that he's saying that just like I helped save you right now, Hashem should give me the ability to be saved from anything single impending sorrow that happens to me. Vayomer Shaul el David, Baruch atah b'ni David, you should be blessed. Gam asot ta'aseh v'gam yachol tuchal. You should accomplish a lot in your life, and you should have the ability to be able to accomplish and do a lot. David left. The Shaul shav limkomo, and Shaul returned to his place. So David continued on his path. That language is very, very stark. David continues his journey. He's continuously walking, and Shaul is able to return home. David's not able to return home. Even though maybe we close off this story, it's finally finished. It ends in a very sad way. David knows that he can't return home. Even after Shaul apologizes and says, I made a mistake, he knows that admittance of guilt is only going to last a certain amount of time, and he can't be here anymore. He said, I've been rejected and kicked out of my country. And that's exactly, right? What?
I said, it's like a little similar, like when Esau and Yaakov, when they had their meeting also.
This is very similar language. The Yaakov, halach l'darko. That's actually
They have to go their own ways.
They have to go their own ways, and this is the Shmuel Hanavi or Nasan Hanavi wrote the end of Sefer Shmuel. This is really what he's highlighting here, is that there's a big difference as to what's happening, but they go separately and they're never going to meet up ever again.
He never said that.
What?
He never said to him, okay, so he said, I messed up, I apologize. But he never said, now come and we can go together. He never reached out to David that now it's all okay.
He
said,
can't.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't seem like he could bring himself to that, no? Yeah.
I was talking about Shabbos and reminded me in the parsha as I was looking. The brothers never once said, I am sorry, and David never did. And Yosef never once said, I forgive you. Those words never translated.
Those no's ever were
anywhere.
coming out. Correct.
I'll take care of you, blah, 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 you feel bad, but never, we were sorry for what we did. And for him saying, I forgive you, nowhere is it said. That's pretty sad.
No, but Yosef said that this was God's plan.
But he never
I'm
said,
angry
I
at you.
personally.
So they could have.
He
felt,
said, maybe
hey,
I'm not
the
angry
thing-
now, but he never said in my heart, I forgive you. He never said it. He never said those words.
You need to say those words.
Yes. Yes, you do. Because you can skirt around it all you want. If it doesn't come from your mouth and in your heart, you don't mean it. You have to say it.
I'm
When
gonna
you
play.
do something wrong, it's like saying, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Okay, but I'm sorry for what I did is different than I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I did what I did.
What Yossi is saying, right, is that he said, this is part of God's plan, and
Yeah,
I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your lives.
okay, that's very nice. That's wonderful. I'm gonna give them each a credit card. I'm very proud.
Does Yosef need
But yes,
to
he needs
forgive
to
them?
say, in my heart, I forgive you because this was God's plan. Not it was God's plan and I'll take care of you.
Do
Goes
they
the
need
wrong
to say
way.
first, I'm sorry?
Yes,
So they didn't say sorry. So is it on them or on Yosef?
both.
They did the damage.
Well, he kind of started it a little bit. But.
So if somebody wronged you in your
They say,
life,
I'm sorry that I hurt
and
your feelings.
I'm sure we have people in
That's
all of
not
our
the same
lives that
thing.
wronged you. What you're saying, honey, is that we shouldn't wait for a sorry or an apology to tell that person that we forgive them.
In other words, if I ever did anything, for some reason, if I did something to make you feel bad, I am sorry for what I did. Not, I'm sorry that you feel bad. That's very
No.
nice.
What you said was like,
Who makes the apology?
Yosef also should have said, I forgive you, even if the
Yes.
brothers didn't say sorry. That's it.
No, I think they both
They had to
equal.
say sorry
They had to
first.
say they were sorry. They didn't say they were sorry. We did this, we did that, we did, no, we're looking back.
Both saying they're equal is not the same as saying the brothers needed to start something. If they didn't start it, Yosef's not going to continue. It's very different.
No, who did the bigger wrong? Yosef was just
Yeah.
spamming dreams. But they planned on killing him. Right.
So they should have said, we are so sorry.
So now it's a game. Now it's like whoever did the worst thing, so then they should start. And if they don't start, then we shouldn't initiate on our own.
When they were standing in
Well, it
front
also
of him.
depends on how you read the Torah. They put him in the pit.
I'm-
And then Ishmael pulled him out.
Right, I'm using the way you said it, is that you're right, they both did something wrong. They both were, the childhood was not great for either one of them. They both were not good actors in that
But how do you
story.
say, I forgive you, If you don't say I did something wrong, what are you forgiving him for?
Because you
They
know
don't
that
own up.
if somebody did something terrible to you,
Okay. So
we
say
all
did.
know they did something terrible to you.
You have to say it. You gotta say it. You gotta say, I did this and I am
Yes,
sorry.
There's no-
Ask God for forgiveness.
There's no value for you saying to that person, I forgive you, even if
Unless
there's
you
no
know what they
apology.
said, unless they say what they did.
Why does it matter?
Because it
You know,
happens.
We know what they did. You just said you know what they did.
Yeah, but a person needs to have tshuva, has to have charata for what he did and has to confess, has to have the vidui, those steps of tshuva.
I'm going to argue with you that I think that what we're doing is that we're playing God. When we're saying we're waiting for them, who says? We in many situations are holding back and waiting for something that is very likely not going to come. And if we spend our life waiting for the I'm sorry or for that dramatic apology, if it hasn't come recently, then it likely is not going to happen. And if we live our lives like waiting for it, we're just being unfair to ourselves.
I'm
And
not saying we have to wait for it. I'm saying it's not the same thing to say to somebody, you know, all right, so I forgive you for what happened.
Yeah.
That's very nice. But if the person doesn't even have an idea of what they did, it's not the same value. You have to know how you hurt somebody. You can't just get a blanket ride.
see, so I think people then, sometimes when you get to apologies, people are waiting
It's very hard.
for too much. And it's very hard. You see this in little children the most, where like they can't say the words, I'm sorry. But you know what? Adults are like little children too. We also can't say the words, I'm sorry. But the other side is waiting for like a dramatic movie, like, you know, list, emotional, when it's very hard for people to open up and share that. What I am just suggesting is like that if we want to be able to move past whatever this person did wrong to us, then there's nothing wrong with saying, I forgive you. And if they can't, doesn't matter. We're able to, matters for them, doesn't matter for us. Like we need to be a little bit bigger and move past it on our. That's not easy either.
But then you don't know, in other words, he could do it again.
Who cares?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, you know what they did wrong. I forgive you.
If you did something really wrong, you don't do it again.
I mean, how many times are parents, siblings on the deathbed, and like they don't get to say this? You know why? Because they're waiting for something that's never going to come. And then you know what? Who's living with the guilt the rest of their life? You're not being fair to people. People are not fair to themselves.
Sometimes you give people the pass, and it's not always the best thing to do. To say it was God's will.
But to
So then what I did was okay,
expect
just
them
fine.
to say I'm sorry is not going to happen.
Well, that's pretty sad.
That's it's reality.
Yeah, but it's still sad.
Okay,
People should be able to say
but it was a great point that Shaul never said it.